What makes a classic is a well-debated topic that has been talked about by scholars for years. Some factors that go into a classic is that it outlasts time, generations upon generations of people will read the book. It is also historical. The book is written in the past, and what is written is relevant during its time period. It is part of the required reading for high school students. It has a wide appeal, and readers of all kinds can enjoy these books. It is educational, not just for entertainment, and has its own style that is beautiful, effective, and distinctive. Some examples are Catch-22, Anne Frank, and Jane Austen. Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy is a classic. It has outlasted time. It was published in a serial publication from 1887 to 1889 and is read in book form even today. It is also part of the required reading for some high schools in the United States. It is also historical. The Victorian era, when Hardy lived, was a time of great change. Tess of the D'Urbervilles was a racy novel that criticized religion. Religious liberals and conservatives battled over fundamental questions of faith and religious practice in the Victorian era. In Hardy's work, we can see that this debate was one that he entered into. In Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Hardy's protagonist finds herself in a world where she questions faith, questions religion, looks for meaning in life, and searches for the truths that mankind has sought for centuries. The novel also has a wide appeal. Lovers of romance, history, or action novels will love Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Last, it is an educational novel that writes about the times of the Victorian era and the changes in England at the time, and has its own style. Hardy's style was influenced by William Wordsworth and Romanticism, but because of Hardy's lack of formal education, it makes his style different from any other author. Tess Durbeyfield is a country girl in the late 19th century during the Victorian era in an English village. The Victorian era gives off a feeling of high moral values. Because society was changing, many of these morals were starting to loosen up, especially with those of lower classes. This can be seen in the novel by how Angel's family views Tess. They classify her with the rest of the lower class, even though she is of an upper class lineage. Her father learns in the first chapter that he is the last lineal descendant of the D'Urbervilles, one of the oldest, most aristocratic families in all of England. Clare family did not think that Tess was good enough for Angel because they did not believe that she has devout faith in the Lord. It also showed that she was of a lower class because her parents drank alcohol while Angel's parents did not approve of drinking. There was also a double standard in regards to sex during this time period. If a man had sex outside of marriage, he was able to get away with it. If a woman were to have sex, there would be much talk about her, and she would then be labeled by others as a floozy or another similar name. This can be seen after Angel and Tess had gotten married, and they confessed their sins to each other.
Lost and confused. And there I met a woman.
A woman?
Much older than myself, and, how do I put it? Not of good moral character. And it was a trap, of course. And young as I was, I stumbled in blindly. And the affair, it lasted 48 hours. And it was 48 hours, Tess, of dissipation that I regret with all my heart, but not least for the pain that it might cause you. I take it you forgive me.
Yes. Yes, oh yes.
You seem almost glad, Dad.
I am. Because now you can forgive me. I have a confession too, you remember?
Famous confession. A wicked deed.
It is serious, Angel.
No more serious than mine, I'm sure.
No, it isn't. It can't be.
While their acts were the same, he did not forgive her as she forgave him, and he then saw her in a new light. He felt as though she had deceived him, though she was fiercely loyal to him. The 1979 series was not so successful. The film lacked accuracy to the novel, and the actors were stiff. The producer omits important parts of the novel, but the film is enjoyable and is beautiful to look at. 1998, the novel was produced to a film again. It was true to the novel in many ways and felt more authentic because it was filmed in England on-site. The film was the most authentic to the original novel. 2008, the novel was again produced but into a TV mini-series. It was once again filmed on location but was flawed because the series didn't give the plot enough time to develop. Thus, many important scenes were cut from the original.